Greg Fishel, thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. I really appreciate it.
I'm excited for the chance to be on and to see you. It's been a while.
Thank you. Yes, it has been a while. There are times when we have a complicated forecast where a storm track can make a big difference in what the weather impacts are going to be for your viewing area. How do you communicate that uncertainty without making it sound like you just don't know?
There were times in North Carolina where we knew there was going to be a tight transition zone between rain and snow. And I'd use the analogy sometimes that, like, if you had a really powerful squirt gun and you were aiming it at the opposite wall of a gymnasium, you move the barrel of that squirt gun just slightly. And by the time the water gets to the other side of the gym, it missed its mark by a wide margin.
And I'm a firm believer in this, Greg. There are ways of communicating uncertainty that actually build trust and confidence with the viewers that you serve rather than
Mhm.
eroding it. But it has to be done right.
Right.
So, what's the right way to do it?
That people, I don't think they're as interested in what the chance of rain is occurring during the day, but how much of the day is it going to take up?
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
if it's only going to be an hour total and you've got something planned outside, you can probably work around that. If it's
Hmm.
going to be 6 hours, then maybe not.
Hmm.
And it might rain the same amount in both of those circumstances, but the key is the duration.
The number one thing that you have to be thinking about every single day is that my main competition is no longer the TV station across the street. My main competition is this, right?
And I think those icons on the 7-day forecast look way more ominous sometimes than the weather actually turns out. It's like, oh my God. But it actually turns out to be a pretty decent day.
Looking at the weather app and seeing that it says 100% chance of precipitation, I'm on the air this day. I know that it's going to be a cloudy, drizzly day. So the value that I can add to the viewers is going on the air and saying, today's a hooded jacket day. Leave the umbrella at home.
Hmm.
Did you feel like it was super important to you as the chief meteorologist, especially, to be there for all of the big storm events? Is that one of the ways that you build trust?
That's a really good question. I know there were times, like on the weekends, if something was going on, that they would call me in, and I would maybe do the very top of the show thing, you know.
Mhm.
But then during the main weather segment, it was their show. They would toss it to me for maybe some added information, but it was their baby. If you bring the main person in every time there's a fire, then the other person never learns how to put out the fire.
Right.
So I think there are ways to establish that trust and let people know, yes, I'm here.
Mhm.
I care. This is a big deal. But at the same time, this other person is pretty darn good too.
For someone who is still trying to establish themselves in a new market and they really want the audience to know them and trust them, do you have any tips that can help accelerate that process?
Just be yourself. It's like, yes, there are some fine tuning things that are helpful, but just have a conversation with a camera, and just pretend it's a human being and have fun with it. I would never think about the fact that behind that camera there were like 300,000 people or whatever the heck it was watching.
Mhm.
That if you find a place where you like it and it likes you, think long and hard about moving on, because you may have found the place where that chemistry between you and the audience is special. I was doing what I wanted to do and getting paid for it and enjoying it. And I can do that in market 100 as well as I can do it in market one.